Hello, I'm Ericka Sallee of TruSynergy, and welcome to the TruWoman Show. I'm honored to have Taya Dunn Johnson on the show today. Taya calls herself a native New Yorker since she was born and raised there. However, she's lived in the Baltimore metro area since 2012. She's been writing as Mrs. TDJ since 2006. Write, release, breathe, repeat is beyond a tagline for her blog. It's a mantra Taya has adopted and shares with her readers who follow her through the emotional waves while she navigates life as an expressive, vulnerable, humorous, and audacious widowed mother of an autistic toddler. Upon the death of her husband in 2012, Taya made a bold declaration to no longer be afraid of her dreams and has set out to redefine her purpose while caring for her son. She was introduced to the Listen to Your Mother project in 2013. In 2014, Taya sought to bring the project to Baltimore. Now, in its second year, she's the heart and soul of the project as co-producer and co-director. Taya was also asked to join the Listen to Your Mother national team as the Diversity and Inclusion Outreach Mentor. She's also a speaker, panelist, and workshop facilitator, and has turned her passion for writing and sharing her personal story into a mission to help others overcome adversity through storytelling. Taya, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate your time. So listen, tell me, what is Listen to Your Mother?
It's a really hard question to answer,
okay.
But I get asked often. Listen to Your Mother is a half live stage, half social media project.
Okay.
It was born in 2010 from the brain of our national director, Ann Immig. She sought to give Mother's Day a voice behind the traditional idea of a Hallmark card.
Okay.
And so she decided that she wanted to write something about what motherhood meant to her. She wanted a stage, and she had others perform with her as well. That took on a national fever, and people started asking how they could bring the show to their city.
Okay.
So now in 2015, the show is actually being produced in over 38 cities, and we'll have a book coming out on April 7th called Listen to Your Mother, What She Said Then, What We Say Now. And it's a collection of about 50 stories based on shows beginning in 2010.
That is awesome. So do people audition for the show, or do they have a certain cast that travels from city to city? How does that work?
Right. No, each city is an independent. They produce and direct their show as they see fit. There's a national team that sort of oversees operations, and then each city is responsible for securing their venue, auditioning their readers, putting their show together, and producing it as one independent thing.
I love the concept, and I love the concept of it's more than just a Hallmark card, something that people can actually see and witness, you know, see, taste, feel, if you will. So what is it that you hope patrons will get from the show?
The idea is that we have a lot more in common than we have different from one another, and that we are all born of someone. We all know motherhood in some way, shape, or form.
Absolutely.
So we're either a mother, we have a mother, we wish to be a mother, we don't wish to be a mother, etc. So the show covers the good, the bad, the funny, the poignant, the sad, the ugly, but all the truths about motherhood. So the goal is for people to attend the show, come with your friends, your family, your mother, your sister, your children, and have the voices on stage resonate, because there are so many Me Too moments that you don't realize it until you feel the power of the show.
Absolutely. And in this day and age, when there's so many things that divide us, it's nice to bring something like this to the stage, because we have so many more commonalities than what we talk about sometimes.
Exactly.
So it's nice to see that piece of work, to actually demonstrate that.
Exactly. And we see that people come. Often the biggest reaction is that people will come to the show anticipating seeing their friend perform, or their neighbor, or their loved one, and they'll say, I didn't know what to expect, but by the end of the show, they're happy about the person they came to see, but the entire show moves them. And it's usually a piece that they didn't expect that'll speak to some truth within themselves.
Wonderful. I love that so much. So I understand that you are doing some work with nonprofit organizations, and I know that you love to use storytelling as a means to get through to your audience. So tell me some of the things that you're doing with the nonprofits that you're working with.
Well, after the 2014 show, I sought to continue my voice in the community and to help others. So writing has been really cathartic and healing for me. I've written since I was a child, and especially over the last couple of years with the death of my husband and the death of my father, writing has been a source of peace for me. So it gives people an opportunity, especially myself, to be vulnerable and to share what hurts you most, but recognize that it can also help someone else. So as you take things from your mind and put them on paper, the act of storytelling itself is healing, and it can help you overcome adversity, tragedy, and make it through to the next point in position. So I've sought to continue that work, and a local nonprofit asked me to help get them started with a pilot project to help some women that they service get through some of the traumatic points in their life. And it's been a really great partnership that we hope to continue.
That's wonderful. And so what success stories have you realized as a result of that work? I would imagine that there are probably women who are touched by that whole technique of storytelling and being able to write the things down that they're holding on to or trying to express. So any success stories there?
So far, yes. It's been really revolutionary, and we've had a couple of women who've been able to, women who've not touched, pad and paper or written anything even on the computer since high school. And that's one of the first things they say to me is, I'm not a writer. And I say, you don't have to be. You just have to be yourself. Only you can tell your story, and there's so much power in each of our individual stories. So the idea that you would, go forward, write your story down, and be able to share with someone else. So a couple of the women that I've worked with have now become not professional, but they've decided to become speakers and advocates for the journeys that they're on different issues based on education and domestic partner violence. So it's been really an amazing experience.
Very powerful, very powerful. I love to hear that. I don't want to leave this part of our discussion without saying that Listen to Your Mother is coming to the stage very soon here in Baltimore. Is that right?
It is. This is our second year here in Baltimore, and we will be coming to the stage on Saturday, May 9th at 4 p.m. at the Harry and Jeanette Weinberg Auditorium on the campus of Mercy High School on Northern Parkway. It's a fantastic venue. This is our second year at the same venue. They host and treat us wonderfully, and we have an auditorium that seats 600, free parking, and it's a fantastic event. We kept ticket prices really low to make it affordable for people and their families. They're only $14, and we even give group discounts.
And so where do you get tickets? How do you?
The easiest way to get them is just to go to our website, which is listentoyourmothershow.com/Baltimore. Or you can even just Google it, and we're easy to find.
Okay, so I want to just ask you a quick question about your personal challenges. I know that you talked about the death of your husband and your father. How has that helped to strengthen you and to help you to do the work that you're doing?
It has given me a greater sense of personal purpose. My husband and I were high school sweethearts, so upon his death, we'd been together for 20 years. And at the time, our son was 3. He had been diagnosed with autism at the age of 2. So I found myself at a very low point and unsure what to do with myself. But writing was the one thing that brought me peace at that time. And so through that, I've been able to sort of just say what's on my heart and my mind. And most people are not really familiar with very many young widows. And when they are familiar with widowhood in general, they tend to think of it as a very solitary existence and something that just happens and passes. And so what I've strived to do is to let people know that it happens, your life is forever changed, but you don't have to stay down in the ashes. I'm sad every day, but I put my best foot forward because I recognize that the two of them, my husband and my father, would not want my life to be completely crumbled, and that I owe it to them, I owe it to myself, and I owe it to my son to keep pushing forward.
Very powerful statement. It definitely is something that helps to propel you into the work that you're doing now. And so without that story, you may not be able to do the things that you do the way that you do it. And then lastly, Marcus.
Yes.
I know that he has autism, and you have wonderful ways to just make life smooth for you and for Marcus and for your family. So tell me what you do to just kind of embody that sense of normalcy for him. And I say normalcy just because it fits into the sentence, but you know, everybody has their different normal. So what is that for you?
Yeah, Marcus is an amazing special child. He's 6 now, and he's in kindergarten. So we have the normal, you know, kindergarten issues that most people have. And the biggest thing with my son and a lot of children who have autism is that they need routine and they need patterns and they need things to go according to their plan. And when things don't go according to plan, we have to change them and we have to alert them of the changes. So simple things like a trip to the grocery store followed by the car wash, if I were to add a third stop into that without telling him, we might have an issue. But instead, it's recognizing that, you know, I need to ask him and discuss with him the idea that we need to go to the post office, the grocery store, and the car wash. Let him ponder it for a few seconds, and then he'll agree.
Process that.
Let him process, and then he'll say, "Great idea, Mom. Let's do it." So it's just it's a different way to think about parenting and to sort of make the child a partner in the decision-making process. Even though I'm ultimately in control, I like to empower him because choice and familiarity and predictability help him function best.
I'm just intrigued by that because, you know, sometimes we just think that it's so different to parent a child with autism or, you know, any other different type of ability, if you will. And so it's just awesome to know that you inject those things in to make him a part of the parenting process. And it's a good partnership. Well, I certainly do appreciate you joining the show today.
Thank you for having me.
So much. You know, it's easy to retreat and cut yourself off from the world when tragedy strikes or feel defeated in the midst of tough circumstances. Truth of the matter is, we're all entitled to feel that way for a moment. But with a grace and a supernatural power that can't always be explained, we find a way to do just what Taya did. Make a declaration to push hurt and fear aside and use your pain to propel you toward your purpose. I thank her for reminding us that it's possible to do just that. Please tune in next time for more stories of incredible women on their remarkable journeys. I also invite you to join me this November 5th through the 7th at the Hyatt Regency Chesapeake Bay Resort in Cambridge, Maryland for our first women's retreat. It'll be a great time of relaxation and the right balance of learning and leisure, so you don't want to miss out. For details on this and all other TruSynergy info, visit our website at www.trusynergy.org, like our Facebook page at TruSynergy.org, and follow us on Twitter at TruSynergy LLC. So until next time, find your true woman and be well.